there's two types of ways you can move the price of Bitcoin or any asset, right? One is like price discovery. I've got this asset. I think it's worth this. You're not going to pay for it. Then I'm not going to sell. And it discovers, right? That's long term. This is how the market gets to its wisdom of the crowds to find what something's worth. And then there's short-term bullshit. Like positive news comes out and it dumps, right? What happens in that is it's urgent sellers, urgent buyers. If it's urgently selling, it forces the price down, right? And so when we're talking about these paper instruments, they're all about short-term trading. So if I want to sell Bitcoins right now because I just think it's going to go down, or I want to force it to go down because I've got a lot of money and I can make it go down, I will just sell down that derivative contract. I'll just sell and sell and sell. Like, how much can I sell? Maybe 10 times more than the money I've got. Maybe I've got like $10 million. I can sell $100 million all within 1 hour, maybe in 5 minutes, and I can push that price down. And does that affect the real value of Bitcoin? Does it? Who thinks yes? Who thinks no? The answer is yes. Because there's this thing called an arbitrage trade, which is actually our business. Our business is make sure all the markets are equal. So if this paper contract is down here and Bitcoin's up here, sell the Bitcoin, buy the paper contract, and they will close up. And while I do that, I earn a funding rate, and the demand and supply from both markets will converge. And guess which market is stronger, paper markets or the real market? It's the paper by a factor of 10 and maybe a factor of 100 in some markets. So if you control the paper market, you can push the price around anywhere, and you can control that by having a bunch of money and you leverage it up. And then there's a war going on from these guys playing the paper markets. That's creating this irrational price in the short term. Long term, it's rational. Short term, it's like, oh, this thing dumped, and you'll see, Bloomberg or whatever, Financial Times saying this. Guarantee you'll read Apple stock dropped because, and they'll pick whatever happened in the news, and if it was bearish in the news, because there was a bullish thing happening, they'll pick that and they'll say that's why it dropped. It was absolutely not the case. It was because these guys that are battling out to take money off each other in a poker game just pushed it down, and they were reporting the wrong thing. The real reason, it was a particular strategic setup, like you're playing chess, and it went that way because those guys won. So that's how it happens in the short term. But in the long term, you can really do a longer term incentivization to really put a cap on that price if you were a government.
Wait a minute, everyone, and get ready for something big. Your VIP ticket to the crypto investing world is the Crypto Nutshell. Exclusive Insiders Club, expert predictions, on-chain data, and breaking news all for you. Imagine crucial crypto insights daily, like having your own expert team. Over 10,000 savvy investors joined, but there's room for you. Don't miss this golden opportunity. Click the link on the description now, subscribe today, and ride the crypto wave with the Crypto Nutshell. Your VIP pass to smart investing is just a click away. In the heart of the United States, there's a fierce showdown brewing. The House Financial Services Committee, led by Reverend Patrick McHenry, just gave the green light to a bill that could slam the brakes on a U.S. central bank digital currency, CBDC. But why the fuss? Privacy is the name of the game here. They want to ensure citizens' privacy isn't compromised, especially by any Federal Reserve plans that might stray into surveillance territory. But not everyone's on board with this. Repro Maxine Waters isn't buying it. She thinks it's an innovation roadblock. China's in the lead when it comes to CBDCs, and this bill's timing adds extra spice to the mix. With the U.S. juggling potential government shutdowns and other financial reforms, this decision has sparked heated debates. The Republicans are standing firm, pushing for a clear path for a digital dollar. As this CBDC bill takes its first steps, all eyes turn to the Senate. With Democrats in control and Senator Sherrod Brown leading the Senate Banking Committee, it's a nail-biting wait. The bill's fate hangs in the balance. The Federal Reserve's playing it cautious, not rushing into CBDCs just yet, They're eyeing the research and waiting for the White House and Congress to give the green light. Now let's shift gears to Bitcoin. Everyone's throwing around Bitcoin price predictions, but here's a twist. A well-known analyst, Bitcoin for Beginners, drew up a chart that's raising eyebrows. It suggests a top just under $200K in 2025 based on historical data. But remember, it's just data, not a crystal ball. Bitcoin's been playing around $27,000, and the charts are getting interesting. On-chain data's showing traders shorting aggressively. But wait, what does that mean? Well, it could lead to a short squeeze, pushing prices higher. And guess what? Bitcoin's active addresses are hitting 5-month highs. That's usually a good sign. It hints at a potential bull run, even if prices seem stuck. Institutional players like BlackRock and Fidelity are knocking on Bitcoin's door, applying for a spot in Bitcoin ETF. Japan's Nomura even launched its own Bitcoin fund. But what about the Federal Reserve? They kept interest rates unchanged, but Bitcoin seemed unfazed. As for Bitcoin's price action, keep an eye on that descending resistance trend line at $27,440. A breakout could mean the bulls are back in town. So, the CBDC battle, Bitcoin's reality check, and the shorts versus bulls saga. It's all part of the Crypto Chronicles. Stay tuned for more twists and turns in the world of digital currency. Let's continue our discussion.
Understanding how the current system works in a credit money system, it always needs to be expanding for GDP to grow, meaning that every year we have to lend more to create that growth. That is the current system. Going toward a Bitcoin standard that's deflationary, that has different credit dynamics, is a very major transition. And I don't know how, I don't think that a bit more Bitcoin-centric system means that we are going to give up the credit money system. I don't see those two things happening together necessarily in the medium term. So when I think about the future and what Bitcoin will provide, Bitcoin provides an alternative to allocating to traditional asset classes, but it doesn't just turn the credit money system upside down and cause us to go into an opposite dynamic. When money is created, there are segments of the economy or the society or the population, however you want to call it. There are segments that get access to that created money before others. That's not a level playing field. That dynamic is not only is it present, but it dominates the landscape of money. Central banks, even government contracts, you could loop into all that. And so if that's the way that the world is set up, then those that have the button or that are close to the button, they'll always win. Now, if my family, we're going to be around here for 100 years, what is that the world that you want to be in? Or do you want to have something that's a little bit, I hate the word fair. It's not about being fair. It is about access, equal access, and level playing field. And when I think about Bitcoin is the first way that I actually see that it's possible. And that can only happen through decades of institutional change and actually see the internet leveled the playing field so that people can do business with each other all around the world. That didn't used to be the case, but now it's the case. Bitcoin will allow people to transact all over the world when that never used to be the case, but it will, and it is now. I mean, I only sold books to people tonight that had Bitcoin, because I don't have a credit card machine with me, because when I'm in the States and selling books, they pay me cash, or the 7 apps that, we use. And you guys don't have any of the same apps because it's a different rail. It's a different currency. So it's not, money isn't global except for Bitcoin. And you talk about crypto too. There is no crypto that's global. Tether is probably the closest thing in terms of number of countries that it's used in. So what does Bitcoin mean to me? Bitcoin means hope, is something that, a word that Czech used. I do derive a lot of hope from Bitcoin because I think it will make the world a better place. But I think it's going to take a long time. So that would be, Rusty said, everyone else will hype up Bitcoin. I really want you guys to know that I think it's going to take a really long time. And by it, I mean Bitcoin spreading throughout the whole society and actually starting to affect the way that the planet operates. Because right now we're not really there yet. It's affecting some people in some countries in some ways, but it's not affecting the whole world.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.